Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Enough light here. Maybe. All right. So, the whopping 3 people here, that's encouraging. So, Joao Baka, first of all, you got to tell me, why is it that you don't do it what others do? Like they all say their gender, age, and where you're tuning in from. So, you give me that information, I'll come back to your question. Ravi Kumar says, Hi, Mehran, 31 India male. Thank you for that. And he says, my question is, I have told a lie about my status, caste, and built a great relationship with my girlfriend. But after 6 months being in relationship, now she asking me to marry. I don't have the courage to say I lied to her. I'm losing her. Well, if you don't say the truth, what's going to happen? You're going to lose her anyhow. Why? Because you're going to go with your parents to ask for her hand, and they would investigate or they would ask questions, and they will know that your caste is not what you said it is. Which there's a possibility that right there they would disagree and the marriage is off. So, what happens by telling the truth? Well, she may, or her parents may or may not frown upon it. She may be okay with it. The parents may not be. She may be okay with it. Her parents might also be okay with it, knowing that you guys have a great relationship. So, if you don't tell her, eventually they'll find out. And that would look worse on you than if you just tell her, look, I fell in love with you from the first moment. I didn't know what to do, and I lied. I said about my caste being something that is not. That's up to you. If you still want to continue being my girlfriend, my heart is yours. If your parents don't agree with it, I comply to their wishes, although I don't wish it. But in that way, at least you have a certain character in her mind, and it's better that way. Even if you lose her, you may lose her, but you won't lose yourself. You will be proud of yourself. You may feel you're ashamed that you lied now, but you can rectify it by telling the truth. Even if you lose her, you'll still feel proud that you stood for the fact that you're not ashamed of yourself or who your parents are. You stand by them and you are who you are, as great as you are. It doesn't matter what your caste is. Therefore, you honor yourself and your parents by telling the truth, regardless. If they don't want you, good riddance. If they do, fine then. Either way, you've done the right thing. That's my 2 bit about it. And Joe Boca says, I'm male, 18 years old. Okay, Joao, or is that how you pronounce it? I hope it didn't butcher your name. Why is it that when you guys ask me a question on the comment section in my channel, you don't look at the answer? I mean, you actually send it, and some of you send it 5 times. I have a young lady who sends her questions, I don't know, 10, 20 times just to get an answer. When I say, look, this is not a consultation session. You can come to the live stream if you want answers. I'll be more than happy to give it to you for free. But if you want me to constantly respond and turn the comment area into a consultation, that's not the way this thing can be efficient. So at least read the goddamn answer when I sent you guys, instead of constantly sending to me and distracting me from what I'm doing, because I take your questions seriously. I care and I'm passionate about what I do. And I know you guys are hurting and going through some kind of an ordeal. I want to help. So when you guys send me a question, first of all, think to yourself, is it appropriate? I keep asking questions where I could actually have to go to the live stream if I don't have the means to make an appointment for a private consultation. But he has allowed a live stream for people who don't want or can't pay, which is perfectly fine. That's what I do because I care. I put this for you guys to use it if you're not in a position to want to have a private conversation. But then have a little, graciousness in you and don't keep distracting me from what I'm doing all throughout the day or night and expect me to answer. If I don't, keep saying it, please, sir, answer, please. I mean, this plays with my emotion and I feel sorry and selfish if I don't. But all my day, I can't do that. So please consider, come to live stream if you want to have your questions answered. Don't sit on your ass and expect me to be there for you when you don't have the efforts or interest to actually make time for the live stream, which is provided for you. But you want me to come to your time, but you're not coming to my time that is available to me. I think that's just ass backward. So, having said that, here it is. Joel, your question is, I've been trying to calm myself down by telling myself that these are just intrusive thoughts. You see, you start the goddamn thing wrong. You have no fucking understanding of what I've been saying, what the experts have been saying, what Dr. Schwartz and other experts in this field have been trying to educate us all. You say, I have been trying to calming myself down by telling myself that these are just intrusive. Telling yourself is just intrusive thought is not the right way. Telling yourself, that means you don't believe it is. There's so much evidence for you to show that this is a malfunction of the brain and how intrusive thoughts are behaving, how OCD and HOCD is. But the first step you're taking towards managing this disorder is to actually educate yourself to get to a point that you can believe and understand these are intrusive thoughts, and then educate yourself further. But to begin with, I've been trying to calm myself by telling myself these are intrusive thoughts. However, continue, that these are intrusive thoughts and that they don't mean anything. That's just words. But you got to understand what are the components involved in the brain. Why is it that they're intrusive thoughts and not your thoughts? How is it happening? What are the components involved in that? You guys don't want to educate yourself. You just want assurances. You just want to come here, say something, and I said, me knowing what's happening, say, no, it's not like that. It's like this. This is being lazy. And I'm not going to help anyone who's not going to be determined to help themselves to rewire their brain and they just want assurances. That's going to never end. You'll never be able to manage that properly or rewire your brain, and you'll be wasting my time by keep saying and repeating until, I don't know, grass grows out of my tongue. It won't help you. You got to educate yourself. You got to be a scientist and learn. I provided all the videos for you. Just watch the goddamn things. And so it says that they don't mean anything about me, but now they seem intentional rather than intrusive. What evidence you have that these are intentional? You don't seem to understand. You have an OCD glitch brain. It creates thoughts that are not yours, suggestions that are not yours, images that is not in line with your values and not invited, and it's unwanted by you. And yet, when it convinces you that these are your thoughts, you believe it rather than believing and understanding that this is the same OCD glitch brain that makes those thoughts and is now making you to believe that the thoughts are yours. A broken apparatus is trying to convince you that the thoughts that it makes are actually yours. Your brain is broken in this facet. How can you believe the brain when it says these are yours? It's a broken brain that's suggesting, it's a malfunctioning brain that is suggesting you bullshit, whether it makes the thought or makes you think that these thoughts are yours. Both coming from a broken brain, malfunctioned brain. It's no different than having a gadget that is broken and you want to check the pressure of the tire. And you say, well, it's broken, but it's going to show me the correct pressure of the tire. How could it? You're using a broken tire gauge. It's not going to show you, but you expect what it shows, it's an accurate number. I said, why does it show that? Because you're using a broken gadget. That's your answer. So, focus on rewiring your brain, not believing the OCD glitch brain. All right. Angkor Bora says, sir, how to tackle this false attraction in HOCD? It is even to those also whom I have met a million times before. Well, what's the difference? A million times before or new, it doesn't mean that the intrusive thoughts are correct. It just means it's just active and is doing what intrusive thought does. Just because it's now expanded to the people that you knew for a million times more, it doesn't mean that these are real thoughts and not intrusive. What's your logic in this? You see, the problem is you guys don't seem to realize. OCD is a doubting disease. And it makes you doubt everything, even your own judgment, because when your awareness says something and you know that awareness is right and the brain is wrong, but when it comes to tell you what it is, the OCD brain tries to convince you that what the OCD brain is suggesting is correct and everything else, no matter your friend says or your awareness says, is all wrong. It creates doubt in everything. It creates doubt if your shoe size is 38 or whatever it is. 38? I don't know what size. I just said that. I think because the last person I was talking about, her shoe size was 38. That's stuck in my mind. Anyhow, so doubting disease, it doesn't discriminate what the topic is. It makes you doubt everything. You could be eating your food and it's going to bring to your head that it might be bacteria in it. The food is clean, you just brought it from the kitchen. The brain is broken, doesn't let you see the truth and actuality, makes you believe some intrusive, negative, doubtful things. That's the nature of OCD and the substance of OCD. Why do you think that some of us, OCD brain, experienced when you want to go out of your home or your apartment, you check the oven? And you know it's off, but you check the oven. And you go out the door and say, let me make sure if it was off. You just checked it. Why? Because doubting disease takes over, makes you doubt about everything that you know damn sure that it is the way it is, but it makes you doubt. So you come back to check the oven again. You lock the door, you go, and you feel like, oh, did I lock the door? You damn well know. You just forget. You come back, you lock it again. Then you go back in the elevator, so did I lock it? Let me go back check. And you know that you've locked it, but you think you got to go back check just to be sure. These are some of the characteristics of OCD. You shouldn't be bamboozled by it. And we have Self-Made Man says, good morning, Mara. Good morning there. Always remember to put the credential male 18 from India. Thank you for that. And before that, we have Caesar says, hi, how to know if it is denial or HOCD? Well, you have a video on that. You can watch that one because that's a long discussion. I will help you if you do what you're supposed to do. You know, what really kind of disappoints me is that I've spent so much time creating about 3,000 videos for you on breakups and the role of the psyche, inner movement of the psyche about breakup, why you can't move on, and all these other things. And over 1,000 videos on OCD, HOCD. I wonder why is it that you guys don't search the search engine of my channel and find relevant titles for you to watch. But you still just want somebody to tell you this, yes or no, that, yes or no, that, yes or no. These are assurances. This will never help you to regain your balance and rewire your brain, bring it to default setting. This is what I see. That's all you guys are doing. So all you have to do is go here and say denial. And then you see it says HOCD or are you in denial? Video number 13. So was it that hard? You can do all these things yourself. You don't have to wait for the live stream. But if you do come to live stream, it's provided you have watched what is there for you to watch and educate yourself, and you still have some questions, and I'll be more than happy to answer it. Make it easy for yourself and have a 24/7 me there in your computer that you can watch and get all the information you want that I have had, and then also ask extra questions when it's necessary. Here's the link. When the program is over, whenever it's convenient for you, go to it. Muhammad Ansari Khan says, sir, why HOCD feels real, but we know it not real. It's overactiveness, overwhelming feeling. Well, you got to use your awareness to know what is real, what is not real. When you say why, it's like saying, why do I catch a cold? I don't know. We all catch cold because the virus of the cold is out there. Why do I fall when I run sometimes? Well, maybe there was a hole and you glitch your shoe, got in there and you fell. But what it matters is how do you get up and run again? When you catch a cold, how do you remedy it? Instead of working and focusing on that, you say, why HOCD feel real? That's what HOCD does. It overtakes your brain's cognitive abilities and reasoning abilities and masks you and puts it in a disorder because it's broken. It has a glitch and it's malfunctioning in its signaling system. And the rest of it, why, I've explained it thoroughly from amygdala to basal ganglia to striatum to caudate nucleus to prefrontal cortex. All these I've explained, I've videos. But you guys come up with questions as if I'm giving grades, just come up with a good question. Well, the answer is in the videos. Go find it. Why I'm pissed off with you guys is because I want you guys to be self-determined, self-reliant. The material is there. Why don't you go find it if it's really important to you? But instead, you just want somebody to explain to you very quickly. You want me to explain to you, you go on my site, make an appointment, we'll have an hour, we'll discuss from my own words, and you get it. But I've done it all for you, it costs you nothing. So go educate yourself. One video and one question will not solve your problem. But I've got 500 to 1,000 videos ready for you. Look at the titles. Just put in OCD and then HOCD and see what comes out. And then look at the titles and see if it's suitable for the question you might be having. All right. And why HOCD feelings feel real? Because that's what HOCD does. Because your brain's signaling system is broken, malfunction. Because amygdala is overactive. Because caudate nucleus is not working as it's supposed to be and is programmed. Because the brain has the power to make the body, physical body, react towards a thought. that it creates. From that thought, a feeling is born, because that's the power of the brain. From the thought, feeling, an emotion. And then it leads into making a reaction into the body. And that reaction into the body, whatever it may be, arousal or anxiety or, I don't know, goosebumps, whatever the hell it is, that suddenly becomes your evidence that the thought or suggestion of the brain was correct. That's a problem. You need to educate yourself to understand that the brain has the power to make the body react, but the reaction is not an evidence that the suggestion or the thought that was created by the broken brain was accurate or has any credibility. But this is what most of you do. So, oh, a thought came that I'm gay. And because I had my dick move a little bit, so maybe that means I have a reaction personally, bodily, and then the thought must be correct. Otherwise, why would I have a reaction? You will have a reaction or erection or whatever the fuck it may be, because the brain has a power, to the point that if you imagine you're in a vineyard in France and it's out of season and you've got green grapes on the vine and it's not sweet, it's sour like hell, and if you put it in your mouth, imagine that, bite into it, that sourness blasts saliva in your mouth, and you chase it with a lemon or lime cut and squeeze to your mouth, you've got all over your mouth saliva. But is there any lemon or a green sour grape in your mouth right now? No. Is there saliva there? Yes, because the brain has the power to make your body react to something that doesn't even fucking exist. And that's exactly why you get certain kind of a emotional or physical reaction in the body when the brain introduces intrusive thoughts. But that has nothing to do with your inclination, your interest in that intrusive thought. That's how HOCD glitch works. Capiche? Jesus. All right. Take a break for about a few minutes. I make some tea so I can calm down with your insolences. All right. Go for it. There you go.
The last part was just total bullshit. I just made it up. But the idea of being here just for a moment, just gonna forget every shit. And it's just good. Are you taping me?
All right. So, self-made men, please stop the bullshit you read on Google. And I don't even want to repeat it here, because these are all misleading, and there is an agenda out there to make people think that these things are possible, but it's all bullshit. Okay? Just stop that. Stop Googling shit. That's the end of it. It's all you need in the glitch of OCD and vulnerability of doubting disease, watching and Googling all the bullshit that the political scene out there and the agenda of the garbage that they're feeding the children in school and filling your brains out of it, just mislead you further when you're vulnerable, as far as being gullible and in doubtful glitch. All right. Yeah, that's normal, Muhammad. We all feel we're the top dog, we are the alpha male, we are entitled to all the girls out there. So when we see sometimes we're in a glitch of OCD or HOCD, it's possible that you see some guys better looking than you get jealous or envy of his look because you think he's got better chance with the girls and the girls are yours. And that belief that he's better looking, has a better chance, brings a certain respect for him in your mind and makes you at the same time inferior in your mind towards that guy's chances toward girls. And that inferiority feeling and that respect that you just created because he might have a better chance with the girls, because he, in your mind, is better looking, causes you to think that is translated into your interest in his gender when he is the same gender as you. That's the interpretation that the brain makes, not you. And these interpretations can happen in a nanosecond, and you have no idea because it associates all that respect and envy and all that chances he might have in your mind better with the girls turns into kind of the envy mixes up and makes you think you're interested in that guy as a better, good looking, which then interprets in your brain as if you're interested in that gender. Because that admiration translates in your sick brain, glitch of OCD brain, that is an interest in his gender sexually. That admiration turns into a sexual interest as an interpretation in your brain, in your OCD brain. So just say, okay, whatever. That's all. You don't debate it. You don't try to come to a conclusion. You don't try to defend it. Just say, okay, I know what it is. That's how. I have videos on all these questions that you guys are asking. You know, all questions, especially these sort of questions are from video one, number one, to video number 29. Covers almost everything. The rest of it is just even deeper. But some of those 1 to 29 is as deep as it gets because I guess I was in the hunt for all detail and figuring out what the psyche is really focused on. So, all right. Ankur says, 18 male from India here, sir. Says, sir, initially anxiety was really high towards HOCD, but the long I am suffering, the anxiety is going less and less. And this thing is worries me a lot. Why would it worry you? I mean, did you have a good time when it was anxiety coming in every time such intrusive thoughts would show up? It wasn't good, was it? And because the time has passed and you've seen none of these things, intrusive thoughts and images, suggestions, anxiety, none of them have turned you in anything than what you've always been. And you have not changed your mind, you have no interest to be anything that the brain suggests, and you're still as what you've always been. So that defeats the anxiety. The anxiety goes less because you've been proven by time that they can't do anything. So when these thoughts show up, you don't react to anxiety because that's about the fear and worry, but you don't react because you now know that it's just bogus, bullshit. It's empty shell. Can't do shit. So you just say, oh yeah, no anxiety, which is good. You know, you guys make this thing to become a boogeyman. If the brain suggests to you you're gay, say, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, okay, maybe you are, but I'm not. Or, okay, I'm gay, whatever. Just saying it doesn't make you gay. You just say it exactly like you have a friend that is talking nonsense, is irrelevant, something that you just don't have an interest, and it's keeps yapping, 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 and you just are doing your own thing. You're in your own fantasy or your own thoughts and your own whatever. You're thinking about what your plans are for next week or what homework you got to do. And this friend is yapping, yapping about something you've got no interest and you just don't care. So what you going to say? Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, right, okay. Just to shut him up. it's not an expression of, yeah, I agree with you, yeah, I understand. No, it's just expression of, okay, okay, fine. Meaning, okay, just get rid of him to do your own thing. Same thing. When a suggestion of the brain comes in, you take it so seriously. You try to be offended and protect yourself as if the brain has any dick coming out of it and shove it up your ass and make you gay. No, I can't do that. You're so afraid of a thought. So when the thought shows up out of your brain, it's intrusive, not in line with your values. You say, okay, yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you very much. I know it's not me, it's OCD. I know it's not me, it's HOCD. Thank you. Have a nice day. Done. Don't try to prove it wrong. Don't try to come up with some kind of a evidence or any kind, or destroy it. What such thoughts shows up in my head? How dare you? I'm such a heterosexual. Oh, who cares? Just let it say what he wants to say. So many people out there say whatever they want to say. I don't care. I don't have a mission to go and fix everybody's opinion about me. I don't. I got to do what is right. I got to continue what is right in my own opinion, and I do that. And it can come from anywhere. It can come from people out there. It can come from some family member who's just different in thoughts and opinion, or is just vindictive, or is just as animosity or hostility, or is just psychopath, or is narcissist, or is an asshole. It can come from anywhere. People, family members, or your brain that is malfunctioning. You just got to be able to handle and don't give a shit. So many people say things about you, you don't care, do you? You don't go around fix them up. So when you have to fix up, argue with your brain, you just take steps to help the brain to come back to the default setting, so it stops making all these, at least not as much. And when it does, you won't freak out, because you already know it's just a malfunction. It's just garbage. Just talking nonsense. Like a friend who doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. You just tolerate and say, okay, fine, thank you. That's it. The deeper you go into it, try to fight with the thought, you're fighting with something that doesn't exist. It makes you crazy. Because you deny it, you refrain from it, you argue with it, you destroy it, you kill it, you smash it, you burn it, you dissipate the thought. But because thought is virtual, you can't see the fruits of your labor by having destroyed it. There's no physical evidence that it's crushed, destroyed, burned, and doesn't exist. You don't see its carcass of the thought. And because you don't see it, you can't be convinced that it's destroyed. So next time when it shows up, say, oh, it showed up again. Now I got to kill it again. But you're dissatisfied from this getting rid of it business, the techniques you use, kill it, burn it, bomb it, whatever, because you don't have a physical evidence to see that it worked. And because of that, you have to keep redoing when the thought shows up. There's no conclusion to it that I've already destroyed it, I don't have to do anything about it. But if there was a broken pieces of a thought, if it was possible, and you would see it, then you say, okay, that thought that is showing up, I already had broken it, it's there. There's a label of the broken piece. I don't have to break it again. I don't have to destroy it again. But there's no such thing. So every time you break them, you destroy them, you argue with them, you defeat them, defy them, they show up again, and that drives you crazy. So what's the best thing to do? Don't give a shit. How you doing? Thank you very much. Yeah, okay. You too. That's it. That's it. Make fun of it. Muhammad says, the problem is I automatically got anxiety, tension, stress, negative feelings in head, like distress when I saw same gender. I observed it from past 5 years. Yeah, that is what HOCD is. It doesn't discriminate that because you knew this person for 5 years, that this person is not going to be included in the kind of people that you see, and you might feel like, oh, the suggestion of the brain shows up that, oh, you like them, you want to kiss them. It does it to anybody. It has no boundaries. It's brain. It's got no intelligence. It just is in the glitch of OCD. So it applies that, throws that suggestion and intrusive suggestions and imaginations and thoughts towards anything that it is. And because you're heterosexual, you get really offended. You get really anxious because we're all OCD people are also perfectionists. Any such intrusive thought that shows up, it freaks you out. I'm perfect. There's nothing wrong with me. I don't agree with these thoughts. Why do they show up? And you rise as a hot-blooded heterosexual. You rise to protect yourself as if you have to protect yourself. There's nothing to protect. It's just a thought. It's a malfunction of a signaling system. Let it be. The more you pay attention to it, the more it feeds energy and exchange, and the more it thinks that you want these sort of thoughts or gets encouraged to create these sort of thoughts because it gets energy from it. And the brain wants to get energy from you because that's the only way through occupation and engaging you with interaction that it feels secure. Brain finds security in occupation, in busyness. In order to make you busy, you gotta throw something at you that you're not. Because if it throws at you that, hey, you like that girl, that she's really cute, and you're a really hunk of a man, you can go and, try your luck with her and introduce yourself to her. If he says that, we say, oh yeah, thank you, very good idea. That's it. No more engagement, no more energy exchange, no more nothing. The brain cannot find occupation, business to feel secure. That's when the malfunction happens, and this is the kind of a trip that the brain has. And you got to know that. You got to help the brain to rewire itself by proper behavior toward these intrusive thoughts, such as the 4 steps of Dr. Schwartz and the rest of the stuff that many other experts, such as Dr. Phillipson, Dr. Jan Rayner, have expressed and taught us in their videos available on YouTube. Also, the videos that I've made, you can watch them and then educate yourself about how to interpret and how to behave once intrusive thoughts shows up and how to rewire your brain. Self-made man says, why the title is another language? It's not. It is also in another language because English is there. You see that, right? But because I want to attract Farsi-speaking people to the channel, so might as well put 2 languages. Why not? Like some places you see English and French. And because my mother tongue is Farsi, so I put English and Farsi. So Iranians around the world, Persian-speaking people, Farsi-speaking people around the world, whether they're from Afghanistan or from the Pashto, maybe it's close to Farsi, or whether from Iran, from all around the world, they live in all around the world, they could benefit from it or come to it, and then they get introduced to the channel, and they will go to Instagram that I'm trying to populate it with a channel that is just Farsi. Some of the points or some of the videos, short videos, are translated into Farsi, and then so I can also, help them and give service to them. Stephen L is here. Stephen says, hello, Maron. Hello, Stephen says, Stephen Mail 42 Los Angeles says, I'm at work tonight and just saw your live. Yeah, thank you. I'm hoping that you're having a good time and at least you're managing the everything that we talked about, and that would be good. Well, self-made man, it's your choice. You want to fail? Don't study. You fail. Nobody at your exam is going to say, well, he had a unfocused time, he had a disorder of OCD and he didn't focus, he just procrastinated it and procrastinated and his excuse. No, nobody can say that. Life is tough. They don't give a shit. Life doesn't give a fuck what you're going through. So you better plow through, cut through, do what you're supposed to do, take a break from the bullshit, and deal with it after your exams. Right now, say I take a break from all that shit. I don't procrastinate, and I get on with my studies because when I fail in that, they're not going to give me back the exam again. I may have to wait for another few months or a year, And I'm not going to lose that. I'm not going to let OCD or HOCD or any of these sort of problems that I'm dealing with affect my life and my effectability to meet my goals and bring my desires in achieving what I want to achieve in life to fruition. That's your choice. You want to lay down and die because of OCD and HOCD, be unfocused and lose all your chances about other things that you're going to do. You want to fail in everything that you hope to accomplish. It's up to you. And to let OCD and unfocusedness and intrusive thoughts take your focus away and just allow them to rule your life, and you become nothing. And then it will be even tougher to get rid of it because you don't have the confidence. But if you really want to find strength and show yourself you're powerful, you focus on your study, do the damn thing study. It doesn't matter how many million times these things show up in your head. You focus and focus and focus and focus and focus again. That's one way, actually, while you're doing the focus and keep going focus back on the study, even though intrusive thoughts show up, it's actually going to be helping to rewire your brain because you're actually training the synaptic neurons to stay focused on what you want, and your focus becomes stronger the more you correct it. Something distracts you, correct it. Distracts you, correct it. Distracted, correct it. Distracted, correct it. Distracts you less, correct it. Less, correct it. Less, correct it. Correct it, correct it. Stays on. Learns to stay on longer. That's how you train your brain. Longer and longer. All right. Anchor sister, how did you cure your OCD? It's not a disease in that way. It's a disorder. So it's not about curing. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just you're fucked up thinking what the brain says it's got any credibility or correct. It's not. It's a doubting disease, but it's a disorder. It's not a real disease. So all you have to do is simply understand and educate yourself what OCD, HOCD is, as I have done so much in this on this channel. The videos are there for you. And once you're clear about what it is, then it doesn't frighten you because you just see it's a nuisance. It's annoyance, but it actually has no power to turn me into anything that I want. As much it can turn you into something as much as it can turn you into a lion or a tiger or a cat or a sword or a tree or a piece of shit. That's its power. It cannot do anything to you, but it makes you think. The illusion, doubting disease is called. It makes you doubt everything. It's a disorder. So you got to help the disorder to turn into order by the techniques that has been introduced by the experts to help the brain to rewire itself. As we have talked about it so many times, I don't want to go through it again. Self-made man says, I'm here on your channel from the last 3 months. First of all, best channel I ever found for OCD and suspect of OCDs, subsets of OCDs, but I don't understand why I'm not recovering this HOCD because you're looking for conclusion. You're saying, I did watch this video and I did watch this video and I did watch this video. Why is it not gone away? So you doubt that the actual knowledge will help you because you're looking for a time span. You're looking for conclusion. Detach yourself from the outcome. When you're watching the videos, watch to get information, not watch to get, as you said, cure, even though it's not a disease. Don't watch to get this thing disappear. Watch to get information. Getting the information eventually changes the glitch and rewires the brain. And then it's not about getting rid of it. It's about once it faces and interacts with your logic and you're convinced about the information and you can see how it works and malfunctions, then it doesn't affect you anymore or as much until you actually becomes very manageable. You become the master because you learn and see that you are the awareness, not the brain, therefore not the thought, therefore not the suggestions, therefore none of that. And every one of that is virtual. And that virtual has no power in the actual world. It just distracts you, makes you pissed off, annoys you, because it gives you the illusion that it has a power to change you. It doesn't. It gives you the illusion that you are not what you are, and it makes you doubt everything. That's the disorder. So you got to learn about the disorder to open it up. The jig is up, and the disorder cannot fool you anymore. That's how you actually get it back on the default setting. Otherwise, there's no cue necessary. All right. Stephen says, when I woke up, the first thought that came to my mind is, why? 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 If you count raisins all day long, one raisin, two raisin, big raisin, small raisin, narrow raisin, fat raisin, black raisin, brown raisin, all day long, guess what's going to come to your mind the first thing you open your eyes the next morning? Raisin. You rewiring your brain and conditioning your brain to think about her all the fucking day long. And you expect she won't be the first thing in the morning? If you thought of shit would be the first thing that comes to your mind in the morning. Does that mean you love shit? Or the shit is the right choice for you? You've been thinking of her for the past fucking so many months. Naturally, it's going to be not in your head, even in your ass. She's going to be everywhere you look at, because you've conditioned your brain not to see anything else. You've not given value and respect to your life, to your duties, to your job, to anything you like but her. You've been conditioning yourself by her. And now all you see, all you think is her. And now you think because the first thing in the morning is her, then it must mean something. It must be a glorious heavenly suggestion. God has chosen her. It's your destiny, because the first thing it is her. No. You keep having diarrhea day and day night. In the morning, the first thing comes to your mind is, do I have diarrhea? Do I have to go to the bathroom? It doesn't mean that that is what you prefer. That is the right choice for you. It just means you have conditioned yourself that you just become full of shit. I rest my case. And Ankur, stop reading these shit things, sexual fluidity and all that garbage. These are agenda after political agenda to turn people to something there and confuse the hell out of them. So people start thinking, oh, it's a normal thing. It's just something everybody has to do. Fuck each other, same gender, and then they're trying to use it to depopulate or bring the population of the world down. Otherwise, there is no fucking evidence, no scientific evidence, no real evidence for such thing ever existed or could ever exist. Fluidity, what the fuck it is? Water? You put color water, that is colored. What are you? You're not a water. What's going on? All bullshit. Don't read that shit. Don't allow these garbage to come to your brain. Find your own standards and live as you wish and as your values allow you traditionally. Muhammad Ansari says, I love you, Dad. I will become one day like you. You're my inspiration. Thank you very much, Muhammad. And Muhammad says, I will too research on psyche like you. Excellent. Good idea. Yeah. Anchor, stop paying attention to garbage. You have cognitive abilities, you have reason abilities, you have reason, you have a brain that if it's working, you use it properly, it can tell you garbage you don't have to pay attention to. Don't read that shit. Don't even believe it. Don't even entertain it. And Muhammad says, one day I will become like you, talking on the topic, work on the same topics, and proudly tell Mehran Dadbe is my teacher. Okay, okay, Muhammad. All the best to you. And God bless you. And self-made man says, Mehran Sensei. Okay, thank you very much. And self-made man says, handpick Wayne. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. And self-made man says, underrated channel, make it famous, guys. Well, yeah, there are 10 of us here. If you just share it with your 10 of your buddies on internet and ask them to share with 10 of their buddies, actually tell them you got to do it, then we will get somewhere. LC Every Business says, happy to see you, Mehran. With a rose, thank you for that. Says, finally, I come out of that dark cave. Well, remind me who you are, where you are, because you haven't been here for a while, I guess, and I don't remember your age, gender, and where you're tuning in from, which country, and so on and so forth. That would be great to know. And Saumia Tilange, I hope I didn't butcher it, says, hi, hello there. Self-made man says, what is worse, disorder or disease? Does disorder become normal again? Yes, it does. Look at me. I'm as normal as I ever could be. More normal than fucking before. When I had OCD, you remember I used to sit in the bus going to the school, and I was like, what, grade 6, grade 5? And I was doing this. Oh, I have to do it 5 more times so my father won't die or my exam won't get fucked up. It was all glitched around looking for psychological security and hoping to bring to fruition what I was hoping would be the result of whatever I have set out to accomplish. Or I would say, as it had to come to a certain kind of a tone, so I would feel, okay, it's just balanced. They're all fucked up in here. So having been able to fix all that, it's a moment of pride, that's for sure. I'm proud of that effort. And ACSFXM, all right, says hello, hello, and that doesn't tell me much. Age, gender, where are you tuning in from? God damn it, guys, what is you guys forgot? Everybody says hello. Please include age, gender, where you're tuning in from, so I know a little bit about you. How old you are? What's your gender? How should I address you? And where are you tuning from? Your cultural background. Where are you from? Germany, India, the UK, Netherlands. I don't know. Wherever. Russia, China, Japan, Iran. Liam Edmonds says, I have thoughts about sexual activity with guys, and it's hard to tell if I'm enjoying these thoughts and their mind, even a get turned off by that kind of stuff. Yeah, well, that is the intrusive thoughts creating all that. And the OCD, which is a doubting disease, makes you think if that thought that is suggesting to you that you like these sort of activities, which is the OCD thought created by OCD brain, but makes you doubt if that is actually your opinion or it's like OCD opinion or is it your own thought. So it makes you doubt the fact that these are my thoughts. I'm not interested in this. Makes you doubt to say that maybe I am. Why is it there then? It just doesn't let you have the proper idea or an opinion about the thought that has been created in the glitch of OCD brain. But the fact that you're convinced that you have an OCD, you shouldn't believe any of these thoughts that are not in line with your value. Blanket. Why? Because it's an OCD brain that is make you think all these thoughts coming from an OCD brain. It's not like OCD brain created the suggestion, OCD suggestion, intrusive thoughts, and then now your good brain is suggesting to tell you that what OCD brain created, you like it. It doesn't. That's why you have all these questions, because you are seeing a contradiction between your values and what the OCD brain has suggested. That's the whole reason why you're questioning it. You're aware that this is not in line with your value. These are annoying to you. But yet, the same OCD brain that creates the intrusive thoughts is making you think that these are your thoughts, actually. So you got to be aware not to be fooled. Blanket cover that OCD brain, whatever that it suggests to me that is not in line with my values, and I know my values is, my preferences are. I have in my wise advocate, I have in my gatekeeper, I have in my super consciousness. These are my sacred values. I know what I want to be, what my preferences are, and who I am, what I like to be, what I want to, my identity to be. I know all that. And when these suggestions are contrary to that, blanket, not believe it, not entertain it, not even doubt about, not even try to talk about it or contemplate on it. The fact that you can see this is contrary to your values, then, and it's suggested that you actually like it, then you know it's OCD for you, because you would not like something that is not in line with your values. If it makes you think that you do, that's OCD suggestion. That's the end of that. Don't be fooled. Self-made man says, thanks, Mary. You're welcome. Okay. Saumia, I really didn't understand your question. I'm sorry, I can't say what it is. You say, I'm recently watching. What are you, 18 female? From where? I need to know where. You guys who haven't let me know where you are tuning in from, let me know. Let me know so we know something about you, and also how far we have reached. I mean, what's the geographic, what's the reach? And Sonoya says, I'm recently watching a K drama, okay, whose lead actor looks like my crush. And from past 2 days, I'm thinking of that story, putting myself how to overcome this. Why do you want to overcome it? You like the actor and you're a female. It's in line with your values. So what's the problem? Enjoy it. But you have to overcome it. You think it's a betrayal of your crush because you like the actor that kind of resembles your crush. Is that what you did? Don't worry about it. It's not a betrayal. It looks like your crush and you like it. That's it. And there's nothing. It's a crush anyhow. It's not your boyfriend. So don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Someone says India. Pat Santos says, I never want to go to a doctor of OCD. My mom lied to me to get in New York. Pat Santos, 28. Could you guys let me actually understand what the hell the question is? You never want to go to doctor OCD. Okay. My mom lied to me to get in New York. What does that mean? Get into New York to see a doctor for OCD? Or what's the rest of it? Okay, I don't see a question here other than your mom lied to you. Okay. Self-made man says, self-made man says, when I'm doing prayer, I feel like if I didn't say that I am straight and heterosexual, God will change me, and it makes me nervous. And suddenly in prayer, thoughts show up, I'm gay. It gives me anxiety. Yeah, it is OCD. There's nothing other than OCD. When I used to be a child, when I was a kid, I would pray because I loved my life. I loved my mother. I loved my father. And when I would, and there was something that I wanted, for example, my exam to be, or such and such girl that I saw, I want to get to know her and I want her to be my wife. When I was a kid, all you think was, she's my wife. She's gorgeous. I want her. Somehow you're impressed by some woman, some girl, and you just, you pray. At that age, you really don't know what to do. And so you pray. But the thing is, because I had OCD, and I would feel selfish if I don't pray for other people while I'm praying for something that I want from God or from whatever I believe. So I would finish my praying, please, God, help me to have my exam pass and do a good job in my exam, and that girl would love me and like me, and then I would have two horses and a couple of guns because I like Western movies, and then I would say it's all about me, and I would feel guilty. I'd say, and then make sure let's say my brother is safe, my mother is safe, my father is safe, and then I'd say like our maid is safe. Those things was common. It wasn't like we were super rich or something. We were comfortable, but it was a tradition. Many people who had comfortable lives, they had maids, and helping mother with the chores of the house and all that. So I would pray for them and make their children be safe, and so on, so on, and so forth. All kinds of things and it wouldn't end, because then I had to go on for this and that and so forth and so forth. And my uncle or who I didn't have an uncle, but my dad's friend's family, and then that would be selfish if I don't include them. Then if I don't include them, God will not help them, and that's my fault and responsibility. OCD right there. So it would just go on and on. Same thing with you. You think if you don't say it, it won't happen, or it would happen something that you don't want. God doesn't work like He's not sitting there to listen to you. That if you don't say that you're heterosexual, like if God fucking doesn't know what He has created, you got to tell Him, and if you don't, He'll turn you something that you don't want to be. That's not a God. That's a fucking devil. So you got to have faith in your God, whatever it is, that He knows everything about you. So really all you can say is just, God, make everything the way I want it to be, and help the people that I love, and help all the people who don't have food, shelter, keep them safe, all the children around the world. You see how it goes? I couldn't end it. There were so many things I was concerned about the world. I would go and just go on. Half an hour later, I'm falling asleep and the prayers, it doesn't end. So that's the same thing. You don't have to say all that. And the fact that you say it, because it's a doubting disease, that you think if I don't, something will go wrong. And because you really want it to happen, you deal with something unknown. You believe that something out there is a watcher. And if you do say it in a certain way, or maybe 3 times or 4 times, or in a certain sound, a certain tone, whatever it may be, then it will come to fruition. Otherwise, if you don't, it will be something that you don't want. But these are all OCD beliefs, just like I would have thought that if I have to turn the light off and on 100 times or 50 times or 20 times, then what I want to happen will happen. And if I don't it, what I don't want to happen would happen, or what I want to happen won't happen. All these things are just glitch of the brain, looking for psychological security, looking to be protected and have the things the way we want, from perfectionism to all the other reasons. It's got nothing to do with anything going wrong. If you do pray, don't pray, how you pray, if you mention something or don't mention something, nothing. It's just OCD makes you think that it will. So you have to comply because you have OCD, doubting disease. So you just don't want to take chances. Well, okay, maybe it's not, but let me just to make sure, let me do it. Then you're conditioning yourself to actually listen to the broken brain, and you'll end up doing all kinds of crazy things that never ends, and you just become really exhausted with all these efforts to make things balance fictitiously. Anchor says, I feel envy to my brother as he has more money, more resources, more education, and here me struggling with OCD. The day I got my intellect properly, my dream was to be like my brother. But OCD ruined more GFs and more GF he has, and me just using my hands. Well, you'd be lucky you have hands, otherwise you'd be rubbing yourself to the wall, and that's kind of dangerous. So don't knock it. Now, on the other note, You didn't tell me how old is your brother. How old are you? So you got to give me some context here. So how old are you? How old is your brother? Your brother has finished his education. Maybe you haven't. He's at the age that he had time to do all these things. You haven't. There's a job, he makes money. Maybe you don't. So you can't just be like that. He's got girlfriends because he's got money. Many girls like someone who's got money, or at least can take him to dinner. And so you're comparing yourself. You hear this. There we go. You're 18 and he's 25. So 6 years, 7 years from now, you can have these questions if you haven't really brought about the things you wanted to accomplish. But at the moment, you haven't finished your university. He has. You don't have a job. He does. So naturally, he has money. You don't. He has more education. You don't have as much education. He has time to go out and find other friends because he's older. So he meets more people and he has more girlfriends. So your comparison is just stupid. Your envy is stupid. Be happy for him and learn from the fact that, okay, I want to be like him. So, okay, study well, get a good job, and life continues, and you will have your girlfriends. Muhammad Ansari says, I'm 20 Indian. Okay, thank you, Muhammad. All right, guys. So it looks like we answered all the questions, and there are 5 people here. I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised. I'm disappointed with the fact that we've got probably one of the best contents around on YouTube in regards to breakups and OCD and OCD subsets. Nobody knows us. I don't know what to do. If you guys know it, promote the goddamn channel. Otherwise, we're just simply wasting our time. Really, honestly. I mean, I am. Although it's not, at least some of you are being helped, but help the channel to be promoted. Yeah? And Saj Production says, glad I could catch the live stream. Yeah, you caught the end of it. You caught the end of it because I'm just about to shut it down because we've been here for an hour and 13 minutes. I don't know why YouTube doesn't really introduce or, inform my subscribers. By the way, guys, we now, after 13 years, we have 27,000 subscribers, which seems like a mouthful, but really it should have been 2.7 million. So unless you guys, help to promote this channel, obviously we're just going to go another 13 years with not much, or tell me I'm so old that I can't even talk. Not that I will be that old in 13 years, I hope not. But what I'm saying is, eventually, if these 13 years continues a couple of times, then too late to have had that kind of a subscription. So if you guys can promote the channel, do it. Share with your friends, ask them to share it, then perhaps we get somewhere. Self-Made Man says, make a strategy to make your channel famous, as we will follow your strategy. I don't have a strategy to make my channel famous. I just make good contents, and I hope people who are looking for questions will find these contents. And from these live streams, I cut them into question and answers, and I place them up, put them up, upload them as an individual video to help people who might have the same questions in their mind. But I need you guys to actually do something and promote this the way you guys know. You guys are much into the computer stuff and technology, and figure out what is the way to actually break through the system and get this channel known. And Sad says, I'm just coming over from Theories stream. Oh, you are. The other night that you came in, looking forward to more stream here in the future. By all means. But I do need to know that people actually can get informed when I go online. Obviously, YouTube doesn't do a good job in informing my subscribers. So I hope that I can count on you guys to get the word out, and also ask the people that you get the word to get the word to their other friends. So get the word out and let them know that you want them to get the word out, and let them know that they should let the other ones know to get the word out as well, so on and so forth. And Self-Made Men says, like Andrew Tate, he told his followers to make short edits and upload, and in this way he got famous. There we go. Why don't you start and tell your friend to do the same thing. And every one of you who care about this channel and think that the contents are second to none, and I mean it, watch some of the videos that answers your question. Go on the list, search engine, put the question you have, put the topic, put the words that you're interested in, see what videos come out, and from the title, choose the video that it will best answer your question. And if you think the content is helpful, then goddamn it, do something at this channel known, because I know for a fact no channel on internet, and I mean no channel on this YouTube, has the kind of content and detail, deliberately researched detail to answer your questions the best than my channel. And I'm unanimous on that. So if you guys take the challenge, please do, and then ask your friends to make a clip and do what Self-Made Men and Sag just agreed to. That's a good idea. And let us see what happens. And Self-Made Man says, I will make Insta page for your channel and upload your edits. God bless you. You do that. Perfect. I'd really appreciate it. At least, all the efforts that I make for the time that I put in here every week, at least 2 or 3 hours, just answering questions and making it available for you, so you don't have to go on my site and pay for a handful to have a private chat with me on the Skype. I make it available so everybody who can't or doesn't want to pay can be here, and I can help them as much as I can, because I truly care. I love you guys all. I don't want any of you suffer. And all the research that I've done for the past 13 years is at your disposal through the videos, through the live streams, and through the private discussions on Skype. So do something, otherwise this channel will be disappearing, because nobody really knows, and it's not going to make any dent in the whole market for the people who are looking for answers. And I want to help people. That's what I've been here, even though this channel doesn't make any economic sense, but I've been here for 13 years because I really care. I want you guys to be educated as far as the inward movement of your psyche, and help yourself to, if you break up, you have an emotional hardship, the components of the brain that are involved in your problems, to understand what thought is, where does it come from, what is consciousness, what is the relationship between thought and consciousness, what is fear, where does fear come from, what about desire, what are the steps for desire to appear and to be born, what about ego, and all these things, what is mechanical process, what is routine, what is the order, what is the security of the brain, how does it go about. All these I want you to know, because one of the biggest treasures of life is if you know how your machine works. So you don't have to go here and there and ask for this and that to help you to know what this thing that belongs to you works. Instead, you can be the mechanic of your own machine and know about your psyche inwardly, and you can train it, rewire it, and fix it when it goes into glitches such as OCD or breakups, and you become depressed and anxiety and all the rest of it. You will know it. This is my intention. This is my motivation. And yet we are unknown, but it's available to you. And I would appreciate it if you guys get your asses together and do something. Make the edits and upload them. And Sad says, will do. I appreciate that. I love you all, guys. Thank you very much. I need the help. I haven't been able to do it by myself, even though I've helped thousands, if not millions of people during the past 13 years. And I often, with pride, say that I get emails when I wake up in the morning and check my email. Somebody says from somewhere in the world, you saved my life. And that worth everything. To me. So having said that, now you guys know what we got to do. All right. So we got Sad says that makes double. Yes, it does. Says self-made man says we are with you, Meran, brother. Okay. All right then. So on that note, a little emotional thingy here. I got to give myself a Skype consultation. So I look forward to our next live stream. I love you all. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. And I look for our next live stream. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind@seekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.